This is a strange little piece. Welcome back to Stories with Dave. Uh, I always forget station identification for some reason. This is a strange little piece that I wrote when my wife and I moved back to Virginia. We moved to Manassas 2003. She took a teaching job up in Manassas. And, I sold it to her from a distance and from years away as, bucolic, pastoral farms. People have outhouses out there. It's out in the country. Of course, I was describing the Manassas of my youth. And we got there, we moved into an apartment building. It was basically surrounded by MS-13. It was an MS-13 apartment complex. It used to be called the Prince Cole Apartments. And it's funny now, it slips my mind. It was something like, oh, Windsor. It's really funny because all the street names and everything are all royal, royalty. They all evoke England. But it's right there across from Bull Run Park, where, incidentally, MS used to jump in new members on the weekend. They would have huge soccer matches over there, Of course, to the casual observer, oh, isn't it nice? The El Salvadorans were having a soccer match, having a football match. But they would jump in new gang members. So when we were living there, a kid got his hands cut off at a bus stop on God. Oh man, I forget the name of the road, but it was in Springfield, and it was a really nice. It was like on Van Dorn Street or something. It was crazy. Um, just a nice, quaint suburban neighborhood. Growing up, it turned into this just shithole. One night, a guy was trying to kick our door in. He was really drunk, didn't speak a word of English, and luckily, I was supplied on the other end of the door, and I let him, hear me chamber one because he wasn't responding to anything that I was saying to him through the door. This was only after I had contacted security and asked them to call the police, and even after all that, when the police got there, they were doubtful about whether I had any business being in the building. They knocked on the door, and they really weren't sure whether it was my apartment or not. It was quite an evening. If I can, I will try to include a photograph at the beginning of this or at the end. That's a still shot of a SWAT team leaving this building one afternoon. And they came in to set up for a headshot on a guy across the parking lot who's, they were having a hostage situation, basically. Broad daylight, like Tuesday afternoon. Welcome to Manassas. So I wrote this little piece of prose poetry. I had no idea where to put it or what it was. Years later, on that Submittable app, I see a call for work from a little magazine called Proem, advertising they wanted to. They were soliciting for prose poetry of all things. I said sure. Turns out it was like some Scottish guy, I think, but he was living in Jiangdu province, or the city of Jiangdu. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. At any rate, no, it's in the province. It's in Wuhan province, Chengdao or something like that. He sat on the piece. He was going to get published. And he sat on it, and then we got email. I got what looked like a form email to everyone who had submitted, apologizing, and there were delays, but it was going to be going up, and that there had obviously been some recent troubles in China, etc., and then just went dark. So that was strange. Um, Strange little thread kind of ran through current events. At any rate, this is the piece. It's called Village Life. You have to live slow to see the village life. You have to be a stoop sitter, a watcher, a gargoyle in a sunny open window. You have to be jobless to see village life, to watch the hours of microdramas unfolding in the parking lot beneath the dogwood trees. Here's the life suburbia leaves behind when it goes to work. The mailman arrives to the tune of The Price is Right. The dealers sleep in front of widescreen TVs turned up loud. The police come and go, knock on doors, park, kill time, call for backup, smile at the tricycle children. The tricycle children scream. Village life. You meet all kinds. I live here because it's close to where I work. I lost my license. I'm going to go back to school someday. I'm managing a bookstore, CD store, bank counter, a hair salon, strip mall parking lot, marijuana store. I'm a workaholic, an alcoholic, filmaholic. I used to live in Jersey, Philly, in LA, and Tennessee. I'm managing to pay the bills, the man, piper, the dealer, feeding the monkey, managing to pay for village life. You can't help but pay for village life. You can't help but pay for village life. You can't help but walk through the vomit to get to your car. You can't help but deal with close quarters. You can feel the music before you face it in the village. You can watch the cars loop in and out past the tweaker snoozing at the gate. Teenagers come and go, speak new code, smoke blunts on the steps outside when it's nice. There's a stipulation in the rental contract. You can't work on your car. The streets in the village are named after royalty and Ivy League schools. They always name bad streets after top universities in lush green counties in England. At the Salvadoran restaurant across the street, they've never heard of England. They lean against the posts outside High Mart in the evening's heat, mad dogging the pedestrians. They smoke blunts by the payphone until the cops come. The cops always come to the village. They have a lot of clients in the village who will never graduate from Yale. There is no work today. Today I rise and I smoke on the front steps with birds singing in the pale blue light of dawn, and I watch the first yellow squares of light come on in the buildings across the parking lot. The trees are filling out with new bright green leaves and purple and white flowers. It's springtime in the village. Soon the children will all come giggling past me down the stairs on their way to school. They come roaring by like a flash flood of laughter. They drift past an eddy of Salvadorans waiting for work in the parking lot at High Mart. There's a tennis court without a net in the village and a basketball court without any hoops. There's a playground with sharp edges and a ride that just might kill you. There's a strange little man on the swing set with something in his pocket, and he wants to swing you so bad he can taste it. There's a sandbox that's more cat shit than sand. You can build a nice little shit castle after school while mama fixes you a snack. We have birds in the village too, lots of birds. Urban birds, rats with wings singing watery melodies to the dawn. They watch narrowly, subjectively, through the living room window. They see everything. They keep all our secrets behind those intense little obsidian eyes. They often mistake our window for the sky when the sun is just so. The children watch them die far below among scattered diapers and fast food detritus, and it's better than TV. In the late afternoon, the air conditioners hum on the hot red brick village walls. One cop comes and goes without incident. He's just fishing. Fool. It's way too hot for fishing in the village.